Here we
There
go.
you go. Now we're live. The old commercial, is it live or is it Memorex? And what was
We have
Memorex? Was that a
no
cassette tape? That was a cassette tape.
Yes,
wasn't
it was.
Yeah. And they said the sound was so clear that you wouldn't know if it was live or Memorex.
Oh, no kidding.
That was what they said. It's funny how we remember those little jingles and
Yeah, they don't do jingles anymore.
nah.
Not too often.
Loretta would remember, probably vaguely, but up until we were about 10 years old, they used to, on TV, would advertise for cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And then the federal government banned.
Banned them.
How about this one? Winston tastes good like.
A cigarette should.
That's right. That was their slogan, Winston tastes. And a friend of mine used to say, Winston tastes bad like the one I just had.
I'd walk a mile for
a
a.
camel.
I can't remember the Virginia Slims one, but it was a woman.
Oh, you've come a long way, baby.
Baby, yes. Is that Virginia
It was
Slims?
a
Yes.
cigarette geared toward women.
Yeah.
Women. Mm-hmm.
Here's a real one
All
that,
right. Go ahead.
I doubt you'll remember this one. Do you remember they made a cigarette called 101? And it was 1 millimeter longer than regular cigarettes. And that was, they
No.
called it, the slogan was a silly millimeter longer, 101.
I do not remember that
For
one.
some reason, I don't know what I had for lunch
Wow.
yesterday, but I
Isn't that amazing? The
101.
things the random bits of knowledge that you remember, you don't even know how you remember them.
Yeah.
Like I watch Jeopardy a lot. I love Jeopardy. And I amaze myself at, when an answer pops into your head and there's no logical reason you should know that answer.
Yeah.
It's some bit of a tidbit in the back of your mind that you remember.
Did you watch the college one recently? They were harder questions.
They
than
were-
the regular
They were
ones.
very hard.
Well, they should have been.
Here's what's most fun is when you get the answer and the three are standing there not getting
Got
it,
it
start
wrong.
hollering at them.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I know this. You should know that. Yes.
You're all-
All right, my dear.
All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Do it.
Under your microphone.
I always forget that.
There you go.
All right, we will call this May 12th meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Elections to order. Please call the roll.
Mr. Boyd,
Here.
Mr. Vogler,
Here.
Ms. Spielvogel.
Here.
All right, we have quorum.
Yes, we do.
Public comment can be submitted to mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. I'll check and see if we have anything in the interim while I do that. If my colleagues would like to look over the minutes. We have no public comments.
Are you ready to consider the minutes?
Yes.
I have a very minor correction in the first section. There's an E on the end of your name, Mr. Boyd, that probably doesn't belong there.
You're fine.
Sorry.
You're fine. All right, we'll strike the E from the record.
What's funny about that, usually our names get, not by you, but usually our names
Right.
get butchered. Boyd is
Yes.
the easiest one, so
Yes.
that kind
Well,
of
I
makes
always
it.
remember her because she's proper I before E.
Oh, yeah.
And I say that all the time, and when people think about how to spell my name, that's exactly what I do, because most people will put the E before the I, and I say, just like the rule,
I before
I
E,
before E,
except after C.
and sometimes Y.
That's right.
Oh. Mr. Chairman.
No, we're gonna keep this going.
Well, since we're on that subject, here's a little piece of trivia for you.
Okay,
Our sheriff, Sheriff Polero, has, with the exception of the letter Y, has every vowel in his last name. You think about that.
Oh, my God.
A-E-I-O-U is in his last name. Think about that.
yes.
He has all of the vowels in his last name. And he's proud of it.
All right.
Believe it.
See?
See
Learn
what you
something
learn
new
there?
every
Yes,
day.
sir. Let the conversation
All
keep going.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
All right, do we have a motion on the minutes? I don't know if we ever will.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes
As amended.
Second, as amended.
as amended.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all, questions on the motion, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Ed, we'll turn the meeting over to you. How are we doing?
We're doing okay. Things change hourly. We were in the Tree of Wellness Center in Elwood 5-1. Now we're gonna be waiting to hear back again Friday to make sure. So that kind of stuff. We haven't been able to get a hold of anybody at New Life Baptist Church, which is critical. They're gonna talk to us on Friday. I have a board that.
Forgive me, Ed, New Life Baptist Church in Wilmington Township.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They will get back to you by Friday?
They're supposed to call us on Friday.
Okay.
Brooke's pretty good about it, so we'll accept that. The board at Shenango 3 has decided to not work as they are diabetic. So we're going to we'll relocate Shenango 3 to Shenango 2. It's in the same building. We've already talked to the other judge. We're good to go.
Is it? Oh, please.
I was gonna say, do you need action from us to be able to do that?
It was, I don't know, how'd you do in the minutes?
We need a motion to accept the changes,
Okay,
to consolidate.
Is that building the fire hall?
yes,
On Savannah Road,
Yeah.
is that correct? Next to the new Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
Okay.
and then the other one, we find out that the judge has moved to Struthers, Ohio, which is not acceptable. So we're going to take Newcastle 2-4 and let 2-5 handle them. Again, they're both in the same building at St. John Lutheran Church on Highland Avenue. We've already talked to the judge there, and she's amenable to doing that as well. So I'm going to propose those two additional relocations for this election.
Can you give me those again, just the what to what?
Sure, Newcastle 2-4 to Newcastle 2-5. And it would be Shenango District 3 to Shenango District 2.
All right, I'll take a motion to, I guess, consolidate those precincts, specifically the Newcastle 2-4 to the Newcastle 2-5, and the Shenango 3rd, moving it to the Shenango 2nd.
I'll move.
Second.
Hearing a motion to second, is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing none. Sue, please call the roll.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes.
Mr. Vogler,
Yes.
Ms. Spielvogel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. With regard to the personal protection plan, the plexiglass barriers have been ordered. The additional masks have been ordered. Hand sanitizer's been ordered. We have plenty of gloves. I did check with the 911 center. The masks that he has up there are all N95 and would be probably overkill for anything that we need to pull. So he and I both agreed that first responders, firemen, all that, that's where that stuff should go.
But we can offset the money that we're spending on it with the money that we receive from the state grant.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Let's see. The spray down that will kill the coronavirus as well as everything else, that's been ordered. So far, I've been able to talk new vendors into allowing us to do purchase orders as opposed to doing it on a credit card. So I'm much more happier about that.
Wait, go back to that for a second. The spray down to kill, what are you talking about? Spray down? Of the
It's
machines?
just, no, it's just, their work areas or wherever anybody's coming in.
But for all 75 precincts or
Yes.
whatever the hell we consolidated.
Yes.
What's the cost on that?
$3 something for a case of 24.
300 something
Yes.
for a case of 20.
Oh, wait, you mean we bought them individual little can, you don't mean we have a company coming in?
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
I wondered where you were.
Relax. That's coming up.
that's scared, you scared the hell out of me.
I'm sorry.
I'm thinking we just blew through $200,000.
No.
Okay.
I wondered where you were going with that. I'm like, yeah, I could see them. They have to have the sprays for
No,
themselves.
this is just, relax, Commissioner.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that to you. I really wouldn't.
Okay.
However, along those same lines, First United Methodist Church, Decker Drive, and all the Catholic churches wanted to know how the county is going to sanitize their areas, kitchens, anywhere that our people have got to be sanitized.
Well, using the methods that you just described.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Wipe down, we'll get, you
Right,
know, whatever sanitary wipes. Now, whose responsibilities are going to be to go in and do that? Am I gonna drop that on the poll workers, or are we gonna go in after when we pick up?
I would say have the poll workers do it. I mean, they're already there, they're already,
could they finish that up in the evening, or is that too long of a day?
Well, at that particular point, you probably figured they've already done 15 hours.
how long would it take to sanitize a place though?
Your multiple tables, whatever chairs. The sticky point is most of the locations have kitchens where they will prepare their lunch or dinner or whatever, so all that's gonna have to be like.
Here's what we can do then. We can send around for the week following the election, assuming my colleagues are amenable. We'll pull some of our maintenance guys and.
And
we'll just
have
do it
that
way.
done, sure,
Is that
yes.
acceptable?
And actually,
If
it can coincide with when they go to pick up the machines and everything.
Yeah.
That,
And at that point, we're
Yeah.
talking about, we have 4 Catholic churches and the Methodist Church Decker Drive.
Mhm.
So right
Okay.
now, we only have 5 locations that have actually asked.
okay,
Okay.
Okay, I'm not talking about. you know,
all of them, I'm
Clark
thinking all
Steel
of
or
it,
anything of
okay,
that nature.
thank you,
Okay.
yes, okay.
I really do appreciate the fact that you recognize the staffing needs that we have. As of this morning, the applications that came in yesterday have been processed. They're already being put together and will be sent down and have ballots sent.
What are we up to?
But I checked last night, it was 6,522.
What percentage of that of the total voting population?
Of the group that's of the Democrats and Republicans that are permitted to vote this go around, they have 47,000, so we're approaching 15% turnout already.
Right, and I noticed from the minutes from before, you expected around 7,000 roughly,
We'll get
and
closer
you're
to
there,
that. We'll get
right.
closer to that.
Okay, which, I mean, is a good thing, because we want to encourage people to vote by mail
Absolutely.
instead of getting to
Yeah.
and risking anything, so.
While we're on the subject of mail-in ballots, I think we might have touched on it last election board meeting, but I want to touch on it again, just because, you know, you hear a lot of concerns out there relating to mail-in fraud and absentee fraud. What are the safety measures that are in place that prevent that from happening, just so everybody?
And when we prepare a ballot that's ready to go out, there's we put an address label on the front. And then inside that is let's call it the affidavit envelope, and then there's a secrecy envelope in the ballot. Pardon me, there's an instruction sheet and notification that you can only bring back your own ballot. Those 2 pieces they can throw away when they're finished. Vote your ballot, fold it, put it in the secrecy envelope, take that secrecy envelope, put it inside the affidavit envelope. That already has our pre-printed return address on the front. On the back of that, they have to sign off that they agree that they are who they are and what the purpose is for. And there's also a barcode on the back. When those ballots come in, they're time-stamped, and then we read that barcode so that we show that their ballot was returned against that application that was received and processed.
Okay. Do we have software that picks up on any signature discrepancies?
You're looking at it.
Fair enough. So in other words, you guys go in manually and
We
compare
manually
signature to signature.
compare signature to signature. And I can honestly say, except for maybe 2 individuals, that it was very apparent that they've gotten older since they've signed, because now it goes like this, okay? But in all honesty, the curves are pretty much the same, they just have a little bit more of a jagged line to get there.
Mhm.
So other than that,
In the event of a signature discrepancy, what do we do?
I would call the voter and come in and have them verify that that is their signature, that is their ballot that they sent back.
Okay. In addition to that, you're also required, when you submit an application for a mail-in or absentee ballot, you're required to either provide the last 4 of your social or
Or
your
your
driver's
driver's
license ID, right?
Or that application will not process.
And you also have to include that, is that included on the actual voting document, your license and your social?
It's on your permanent voter registration record,
Mhm.
and then that matches up with the information that you get online or have to enter manually for the ones that come through the mail.
So in other words, what you're saying is voting by mail-in or voting by absentee is actually more secure than voting in person.
Yes, because there's no requirement for any type of identification other than first-time voter at the poll.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to
There you
make
go.
that clear.
That's good. Thank you that you did that. Yes, because I've been in the office and watched the processing. It's amazing, the safeguards that are there and the processes and double checking and the triple checking. I mean, even having the barcode. Great job.
We have one person, or actually two people who do applications. The applications move, we print the labels, they move to a different person. She applies the labels to the envelopes and so forth and has them ready to go. We take that group, we split it down between Democrats and Republicans in precinct order, send it down, they have a ballot pulled by a fourth person. Then that person, once the ballot's pulled, they send it back up. We have two individuals that check that ballot to make sure that it is of the party and, pardon me, that everything else matches up. The application with with all the envelope information all has to match. Otherwise, it just doesn't leave the office.
There we go. That answers
Yes.
my question.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
If I may,
So,
just very briefly, and we talked about it last week, but I think it bears repeating, just to help hopefully reduce your workload a little bit. Just want to remind everyone who votes that according to state law, in a primary,
Yes.
only registered Republicans and registered Democrats are able to vote in Pennsylvania in a primary. So if you're nonpartisan, independent, belong to a minor party, please don't try to get a ballot because Mr. Allison is not permitted to give you a ballot.
and if you have submitted an application online and you get a confirmation that it's been received, you'll receive your ballot within 7 days. Do not send another one. Don't get the one that came in the mail from the Republican Party or the Democratic Party and fill it out and send it in. Don't get the one that came from the Voter Participation Center and fill it out and send that one in. We've had as many as 4 applications for the same person.
Wow.
What do we do in that scenario?
Once we show there's a flag on every voter registration record that it's already been processed, a mail-in ballot or an absentee ballot, and whether or not it's permanent or not.
Mm-hmm.
Once that flag's there, it's a duplicate. We just set it aside. We don't do anything else with it.
Okay.
So I don't have anybody out there that has 2 ballots.
Well, with the checks and balances that you use, it couldn't be.
No.
Very good.
Our elections are secure,
Yes.
regardless of voting method.
Correct.
Yes, sir. I fully agree with that, and otherwise I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yep.
The last person that I was looking to bring on, she came in this morning. She already has the skills necessary. She sat down and started doing voter registration work right off the bat.
Is
So
that,
that's going to pay us dividends.
is she the former director from Benega?
Okay.
Which is phenomenal that we
We're glad to have her.
that she's willing to come down here
Yes.
and help us out.
She'll be here today and tomorrow, and then if I want her, she'll be here Friday and Saturday.
Did she drive down from Benega?
Yeah.
No kidding. Well, thank you.
But
Thank you.
in all honesty, that's the kind of camaraderie that
Yes.
the election personnel group has all the way across the state.
Mhm.
So, yes, she was available, and I told her, just forget about Mercer County, don't even talk to me. Just
Right around.
come right on down and in
Yes.
all honesty, she thought she was volunteering.
Oh, no, we're paying her.
No, I that's all been taken care of, but she actually came in thinking that she would just volunteer a couple days a week.
No kidding.
Oh, no, we'll abuse her.
And make sure she's also getting mileage reimbursement. Assuming my colleagues are amending.
Well, we've got a little dilemma there. You're not reimbursing anybody
Anybody
else's
else
mileage
coming in,
coming in.
That's true.
right.
I understand the gesture, and it's a worthy gesture, but we don't
Staffing.
reimburse Susan or
That's
Ed
true.
for, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
That you got multiple directors that, or other personnel that live up in
Right.
Mercer
Yeah.
County and so forth,
Yeah.
drive down, so,
Yep, I agree.
okay.
Well, I'm curious, just, do you know does she live in the Franklin Oil City area, which is in the
Okay.
central part of that county? Okay. So she's got about an hour's drive, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
And once we get through this election, she's more than happy to come back and help side the government.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
That's great.
Absolutely.
So she took her 20-year pension up there, and after having talked with the director, who thought she was up to date with their ballot applications, I come to find out that, yeah, they only had 25 paper applications, but they had 800 in queue.
Oh,
Now, I don't know if they quite understand where that, how far back that is, or not, but Venango County could be in trouble.
that is not good.
So, that,
Okay, well, we are happy to have her, thank you.
All right.
and I will let her know that.
Yes,
Other related, I remember last time we talked about purchasing, was it a scanner, was it
Oh, the mail equipment?
mail equipment?
I haven't gotten a hold of the young lady out in Franklin Township, or not Franklin Town, Franklin County. I'm gonna talk to her first about the operation and, pros, cons, whatever. But the gentleman from Quadient, I can set up a meeting. He's going to be, because everything was on YouTube, I didn't have access to it. So he switched it over and they have a different presentation now that I can take a look at. I just haven't had the time.
Okay, that's no problem. Anything else on the election side?
No. My staff is quite appreciative of the lunch that was brought in Saturday and the Saturday before. So that was a nice gesture on behalf of the county.
Oh, absolutely.
well, this is above and beyond anything, any expectation of anything that, we're here.
Could we reiterate the fact that, and correct me if I'm wrong, you and your staff are coming in at 7 and you're working till 5, Monday through Friday. What hours are you working Saturday?
8 to 4.
8 to 4 on Saturday. And I will tell you, this past Sunday, I stopped in here about 10 or 10:30 in the morning, and this gentleman was here. And without going into specifics, this gentleman had a very challenging week on his home front.
Yes,
A number of personal matters that he had to deal with. And notwithstanding that, you're still here. Please understand how grateful we are for all you and folks are doing.
everyone,
Well,
absolutely.
At this particular point, as I would tell one of my former colleagues here, just doing the job, sir.
I know. We appreciate
We
it.
appreciate it. Yes.
Well, any further comments from the board?
Just a question for clarification for me, and I know we've already discussed it. For election day, did it come down in legislation that you can start opening ballots during the day? Okay,
We can start at 7 a.m.
at 7 a.m. Okay, that was just my own curiosity.
Do you think with 8,000 mail-ins coming, well, let's figure you have 8,000 applications, let's say 7,500 come back.
Yep.
What do you think the timeframe on that's gonna look like? Do you think we'll be able to get that done on the day? Do you think it's gonna be a little bit of a delayed result?
I will be able to publish everything that happened on election day at the polls, and we will publish as much as we can, physically get done on election day with regard to the mail-ins and the absentees. We are separating the absentee ballots from the mail-ins at this point, although they will show in a total with just mail/absentee on the reporting. I would think we'd at least get all of the absentees done, because there's roughly, 1,200? We can probably get that done for sure. How much of the mail-in, I just don't know.
Okay.
But part of that also come looking for direction from the board. Do you want, before we leave for the day, do you want everything done? Or do we get to a certain point where, people are just, it's getting to the point where you end up with people making mistakes and so forth.
We don't want, we
We
do
don't
not
want
want
that,
that.
no.
I would say, I don't know what the time would be, but I would say we designate a time where it's a hard stop.
Mhm.
That-
I agree.
Yeah. So
I
you
agree.
figure the polls close at 8, maybe a hard stop at 10:30, even 10.
We've managed to get past that before.
What would you think would be a good time to say, this is it, we'll deal with the rest of it tomorrow?
I would say 11.
11.
Yeah, that way it gives everybody a chance to get some sleep and get a fresh start in the morning.
Right.
They'll be back to just coming in at 8 at that point. We'll finish reading and getting results and so forth, which is going to probably put us back a day behind to start to scan the poll books to know for sure as far as the audit counts back and forth and so forth. But we'll get through it.
All right, so then
Yes.
is that amenable to both of you? A
I
hard
agree.
stop at 11?
I agree,
Because the last thing in the world we want
right,
is for people to get to the point where
Yeah.
they're so tired after working, at a 14, 15,
Right.
16, 17-hour day that, they start to, by no fault of their own, make a mistake that could be avoided.
absolutely
The
correct,
integrity of the election is too important.
correct.
Generally, on election day, my day will start at 3
That's AM.
Yeah.
a.m. And then I'll be here by 5. Because we have to set up a poll, get the rest of the poll set up here at the annex, get it up and get the lights on, and then I'll be down here. And then we'll be here throughout the rest of the day. Tim and I will go out and troubleshoot if necessary, but as long as we have staff to pull from that we normally would use, the assessor's office, some from the planning office, those types of things. They've all agreed to the April 28th, and we're assuming that they'll
Right,
still move forward to the 6-2.
Mhm.
We've got a couple people that came in from outside. One of our rovers for the Elwood City area is Beth Kingston, who's right now helping us out in the office, so that works out well. I don't see any real problems for election day in the normal realm. Getting, let's say, 8,000 ballots open and counted by 11 is going to be a little tricky because we can't start counting the ballot until 8.
and
I can
that's,
get them open
You can just get prepped.
and get them prepped, but I'm not permitted to canvass until 8.
Okay.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. Now we have both scanners and we have every intention of running both. But again, this will be our first election as well to
sure,
learn, all right, well, let's put them in this way or flip them over, let's put them in this way runs the best, and so forth and so on. So we'll know in the first couple hundred ballots how to get things going.
And like Dan mentioned last time, everywhere around the state is in the same boat.
Mhm.
I couldn't imagine being like in Allegheny County or, Philadelphia County or Montgomery County where they have, exponentially more
Oh, absolutely.
ballots. I mean, this is going to be, we might not see the results of this election for a couple days.
if that soon,
Allegheny County's been given a directive that they will have election results on election night.
Who gave that directive?
I have no idea.
that's insane,
It is.
that's insane.
Because the last time that Dave Boyd, who is the election director there, posted anything on our listserv for election directors, they were at 115,000. Now, I don't know how you do that.
Money.
I don't know how many scanners they have to be able to do
Well,
that.
they run the 850s, which is the fastest out there. We purchased the 450s, which would be just fine for us.
But you still can do only so many per hour to get,
Yes. Yeah, it won't
it's a limit, and then how many times have those machines been run 10 hours straight without heating up a bit? Not that I'm gonna,
You say, you trying to jinx me here?
not you, we have the calm and controlled machine, they have the high. Well, listen, it is what it is, and you're right, every county is going through it, so we just maintain and do as we've done, and
You make a very valid point. Every county's going through it.
Yes.
Let's reemphasize the fact that the rules that govern what we're doing are coming
Right.
from the Commonwealth. These
They're
aren't
not
Ed's
us.
rules, they're not Morgan's rules or Loretta's or
No.
Dan's.
Right,
These rules are promulgated by the Commonwealth, the
Yes.
Department of State, and we have to adhere to those rules.
And different counties have always had different interpretations. Mercer County would report election day results as soon as they were complete to the Department of State. But they wouldn't begin reading their absentees until they went to the canvas board, which was on Friday. So, depending on how many they had,
it would
it
change,
could very well have made a difference.
sure, absolutely.
But they have done that for decades. Now, what they do this time, I don't know.
Mhm.
So it's all different.
Let me just clarify again for me. So you can get everything prepped and ready to go with the mail-ins and the absentees on the day of the election, but you cannot start scanning them through until 8 p.m.?
That's correct.
Well, there's no way that we're getting 8,000 done by 11, so that definitely needs to be, and then proceed the next day.
We will give them the best numbers we can by 2 a.m., which is what the law provides for.
Okay,
And after that, we just, we've got so many more ballots that we still have to go through.
Right.
We'll finish them.
so let me ask you this, so then that evening, we'll use the one scanner that will be set up to do those ballots. Is it possible for the next day to take those scanners that were at the polling places and then use them the next day to also do ballots?
We could take several of the individual or the spare units and we could actually set them up on an all poll so that we could run ballots through.
Okay.
However, you're going to hand feed one ballot
At a time, still, right, okay.
I'll come down to do that. That sounds about my speed in terms of mental power.
Listen, I am like Lucy in the Chocolate Factory, I'll fold whatever you want me to, and I have.
Commissioner Spielvogel did a good job.
There we go.
I said, give me the most menial job, the one that nobody wants to do. And I walked in and they're like, could you do this? That is perfect. Let me just line it up. One, set aside. One, set aside. It was wonderful. Wonderful. Yes.
And you know what?
Yes.
And we jest, but without having those ready and available, it's a nightmare.
It's part of the process. Yeah, it is. And sitting there and doing that, participating in it, it makes you appreciate the security of the election. It does. To see that process happen, I was nowhere near, it was paper and the different bits of directions and the notices, which was really good to hear to see that yes, you must return this in person. You must do this. This has to be on. I mean, it's a very, very secure process with everybody has their position. And even to the point that, I'll say when I was there, you went over to take something from someone's desk and they said, no, you're not. I have my system, leave me alone. I mean, so
I know better than to tread another one.
sometimes.
Susan cringes when she sees me coming.
They're doing a very good job. We appreciate it so much and actually see the process take place and know that it is so involved. It's good.
Any additional questions for Ed?
No, thank you.
All right, well, in that case, let's see if we have anybody else from the public.
Okay.
We've got, look at that, the email didn't stay up. No, we do not.
Okay.
So in that case, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, do you wish to remind everybody when we're convening again? I'll second the motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
This board will continue to meet up until and including on, I assume, on election day, if necessary.
But you don't have a meeting on election.
But yeah, that's
That's
right.
right.
The board does not
Right.
have a meeting, yeah.
What we will do is that we will set up for a special Board of Election meeting the Monday before
Mhm.
and leave it open to the call of the chair so that if there are any issues to be brought before the board on election day, we can handle.
Mhm.
Okay.
There's the process, but up until election day, this board will be meeting immediately following, Board of Commissioners meetings. We usually take about a 10-minute recess in between the end of the commissioners meetings and the start of the election board
Yes.
meetings. But that's just to make sure, that we're as prepared as possible, for this election. But we have a motion. Did you second?
I moved, Commissioner Booker seconded.
All right, so we have all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the same sign, motion carries, election board's adjourned. I just died a little bit, I don't know what just happened.
It just happens.
We're done.
It just happens, that's it.
Done.
We're done.
Oh, funny.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Ed, very much.
How's, Vicky feel?
Uh,
He's so terrible, I'll tell you how she's feeling.